Hi, in this video, we are going to learn about how to use wildcards to make a file pattern, a file name pattern, and then we learn how to perform any operation on multiple files at once. So in file globbing, what comes into picture is, for example, you might want to list all .sh files, or you might want to delete all files whose names start with the digit. Then how will you do it? You can't specify all the .sh file names one by one, or you can't give all the names where the name starts with dot. So you have to come up with a generic expression which matches anything of this sort. For example, anything or any file name or any directory name which ends with .sh, or any entries which start with a digit. You have to come up with an expression. Now to create such expressions, we have something called wildcards. So there are 4 characters that we are going to study. The very first character is star. Star means you are going to match any character any number of times. So for example, if I write star.sh, star here means any character can come any number of times. So there can be any combination of the name, and then after that name there will be .sh.
Now suppose that there is a list of files in your system. Here the list is little small, but there can be many files, around 100 files or more than 100 files, and you might want to filter out some of the files for either listing those files or copying those files or removing those files. There can be any command that you might want to issue on a group of files. For example, let us suppose that I want to list all the .sh files. So I'll write ls star.sh. So remember, star means that there can be any occurrence of any character. So this can be interpreted as any file name beginning with anything, because star means any character, any number of times. So the name can begin with anything, then followed by .sh. So you can see all the files which start with anything, but at the end there is .sh. So the last 3 characters are .sh. Similarly, we might want to look for files which start with a particular character and then there is anything. For example, f star. This means f followed by any character any number of times. So there can be any combination of characters after f. So all characters start, all file names starting with f. Then you might want to do something like this: f star, let's suppose, .sh. If there are multiple files which start with f and end with .sh extension, that will come. But as of now, there is only one such file. So what we can do, even you need to do this while practicing, keep on adding such files or entries which gives you results according to the query that you are executing. So let us suppose I add a file here, not while, should start with f, then it can be anything, let's suppose, and end with .sh. So now as an output there should be 2 files, right?
The second character is question mark. Question mark means any one character.
So let us suppose I want to list files whose name starts with f, then there is any one character, then there is n, and then anything. So at the second place, I want any one character, then third place is fixed n, first place is fixed f, and from fourth onwards there can be any combination of characters. So you can see at the second place there is either e or it's I, again I, u, but first place is f in all, third place is n, thereafter is anything. Another use, let's suppose if I simply write this means I'm looking for those files whose naming length is of 2 characters, 2 question marks, both will be listed by any one character. So total length of 2, there's no such file. Let's go for 3. So there are 2 entries, but these are directories, not files. So it doesn't matter. Whatever we are doing, this combination, this file globbing concept is applicable to files as well as directories. So don't get confused why F1 and F2 is coming. Actually, this is listing what? 3 file or a directory with 3 characters. So dir is a directory whose length is 3 characters. Similarly, win is a directory whose length is 3 characters. And since I'm using the ls command, that's why it is listing the contents of the directory. Let's suppose if I issued this command rm, this will remove the files. Similarly, rmdir will remove the empty directories. So, as of now, this is the content. If I use rmdir question, all file and directories, empty directories with whose naming length is 3 characters will be deleted. Okay, for dir, it contains some content, so rm minus r will work, but win would be deleted. So you can see there is no entry now for win, right?
The next wildcard is the use of scare brackets. Sometimes you might not want any one character, but you might want a few combinations. For example, you might want either I or R or a digit 2. That case, you can put all those characters inside the scare bracket and one out of them will be matched.
The next thing is the use of scare brackets. So if you want to limit the possibility or the combination of characters that can occur at any place, then you can use the scare brackets. So what I mean is, let's suppose F and then at the second place I want there can be either I or there can be U, and then there can be anything. So you can see only 3 files are coming as an output, because at the second place I have limited that either I or U will come. So you will not use any comma, any space here. Within the brackets, whatever you want to find, it's an OR of an individual character. For comparison, we can replace this with question mark, where question mark means any one character. So we are getting more than 3 files.
The last wildcard is the use of curly braces, wherein you might want to do an OR of words. With scare brackets, we are doing OR of characters, but with curly braces, we'll do OR of words.
Let us suppose I want to list those files whose name is either find or data.txt. So from the bracket, it is going to pick find or data, a word, not a character. So you can see both the entries were there. Let's suppose I want 3 find data date. So there is no entry for date.txt, that's why this error is coming, but 2 entries were there, find.txt and data.txt.
So I hope now you will be able to perform any operation on a group of files or directories. In the next lecture, we are going to talk about the grep command.